In this lecture, I will be discussing the possibilities of super economy in our country and the possibilities of creating full self-employment. This is the research reality. I've devoted more than 3 decades, about 33 years in doing this research work. We'll have to take certain measures. Now, this is not based merely on optimism, but on the reality and the conclusions of my research. It was research on legal fictions, a critical study of the law of direct access, a critical study of the legal fictions, and with a special reference to direct access law. My aim was to achieve and to create the utopia of law for super economy and full self-employment. This was the aim, why I undertook this research work. Because I was aware the provisions of tax law, if minor adjustments are made, there will be enormous financial resources to create economic opportunities for all in this country. But the present state of affairs is an antithesis, and the ideal state of affairs will be full self-employment. Because of the changed circumstances, time-based employment is becoming scarce, and whatever employment is there, it is on the basis of outsourcing, piece rate, and self-employment. Wherever there is a time rate stipend, there are targets for completing the assignments. That amounts to payment on piece rate, on assignment basis. So in the changed circumstances, when the artificial intelligence and computers are taking over the functions for human beings, it is necessary for all of us to develop a very high level of knowledge base, because we will be required to utilize these robots and advanced type of computer as a tool. So necessarily we should have super intelligence to handle these instruments and machines. That is why we cannot go on insisting that the old pattern of employment should continue. We cannot expect that. Changes are coming, they are inevitable. And my calculation is based on reality. The research is not mere optimism. If the present condition is a thesis, is an antithesis, because things are to be developed. So ideal state will be full self-employment, where everybody gets the opportunity, and the economy is the super economy as envisaged by the present government. We want to become economic superpower in the world. The methodology for generating enormous financial resources is to take certain measures. The most important measure is that the clubbing provisions from income tax law should be deleted. These provisions are coming from British period. It was the thought of the British that the microeconomy of the families in this country should remain weak, and therefore, after paying whatever post-tax surplus was remaining, after paying all kinds of taxes, that was not to be allowed to be utilized for strengthening the economy of the family. And those provisions relating to curbing of a spouse income, of the missus income, of the minor child, son's wife's income, son's minor child's income, All these incomes were clubbed and higher taxation was imposed. It does not stand to reason that after paying all taxes, whatever post-tax surplus is remaining, why should it not be allowed to be utilized by the taxpayer for the purpose of the family? The government interference in the post-tax surplus has disturbed the calculation of the individual, and they are compelled to create secret reserves. So if the government allows them to invest the post-tax surplus in the account of the minor child, the account of the missus, female members, or other members of the family, they will be inclined to declare higher incomes, pay more taxes, and the post-tax surplus they will deposit in permanent microeconomic fund account in the bank, which we can describe as yogakshema sthai Nidhi account. In my thesis, I've termed it as juristic microeconomic imperative. The theory of juristic microeconomic imperative. Why it is imperative? Because the Constitution guarantees the fundamental rights that everybody has right to life. And the right to life includes the right to the means of living. And yogakshema sthai Nidhi's objective to provide adequate means of sustenance, food, clothing, shelter, health, education, generated by the own resources of the taxpayer. We don't ask the government for any subsidy or any tax preferences other than those given to the common man. We don't ask for special economic zones. We don't ask for the transfer of national funds for the private ends, for the enhancement of the private net worth. We don't ask this, but we simply ask that the post-tax surplus remaining after paying all kinds of taxes should be allowed to be invested by the taxpayer for consolidating the economy of the family. If this is done, I have calculated the results. For instance, in earlier lecture 2 I have mentioned, if the taxpayer has a post-tax surplus of 10 lakhs rupees and it intends to deposit it in the minor's account, missus account, or the dependent family members' accounts, that 10 lakhs will be deposited in the bank in yogakshema sthai Nidhi account. And the bank will lend this money to some entrepreneur. And supposing this entrepreneur is engaged in some work of railroad construction or the road construction or water conservation or afforestation, any work, and he pays half of the amount, that means 5 lakhs rupees as wages. So at a rate of 15,000 per month, 500 rupees per day, in 30 days 15,000, at a rate of 15,000 rupees per month, he can pay to 30 workers. That means 4,50,000 will go as wages to 30 workers, and one manager 50,000 per month. So 31 persons will be employed, and the remaining 5 lakhs rupees will be utilized for other expenditure, other overheads, transportation, telephone, stationery, welfare, tea, coffee of the employees, and various other incidental expenses. Supposing, for simplicity, I am not adding the interest element to the cost at the moment, or the entrepreneurial profit, supposing that 10 lakhs rupees at the end of the month is billed to the authorities concerned, National Highway Authority, or Railway Authority, or any other authority, and the payment comes back, and this amount is again utilized. So, utilization of 10 lakhs rupees in 12 months will give a turnover of 1 crore 20 lakhs rupees. 10 lakhs multiplied by 12 months, 1 crore 20 lakh rupees. And assuming only one tax is levied, a service tax at a rate of 10%. So revenue yield will be 12 lakhs rupees. On the investment of 10 lakhs rupees, deposit in the yogakshema sthai account, and the money is lent by the bank to some entrepreneur and he utilizes the funds for production purposes as an input. The turnover will be 1 crore 20 lakhs rupees in a year, and the revenue derived by the exchequer, derived by the government, will amount to 12 lakhs rupees. We are discouraging the investment of 10 lakhs rupees and losing the revenue of 12 lakhs rupees in a year. So earlier, it was alleged by the British, and the same argument persisted, and there was no research carried out in this. That became necessary for me to research and come to the conclusion that they alleged that if we do not club, there will be tax evasion. But where is the necessity? Where is the necessity of making the minor children, the missus or the family members to make accomplice in generating black money? Black monies are not generated like this. Nobody makes them accomplice. It is the post-tax surplus. Where is the question of black money? In the post-tax surplus of all paying taxes, this is a white money. They want to invest it to consolidate the economy of the family. They should be allowed to do that. 64, clubbing of incomes is a very bad law. It is not law. It is unlawful, totally unlawful. I'm surprised why after writing articles regularly for 10 years and even after my lectures on recorded on the YouTube, it is internationally now known that the 64 section is a very bad law. It is discourages the development of the economy. If this is allowed, if the post-tax surplus is allowed to be invested for the consolidating the economy of the family, in professions and businesses where the income is elastic, the taxpayer will be inclined to declare more profits, and then the revenue will be higher. And after investment in permanent yogakshema sthai account, when these funds are utilized, there will be higher revenue to the exchequer. Just we have now concluded on the investment of 10 lakhs rupees, and revenue generated is 12 lakhs rupees in a year, and we are losing that revenue. So our recommendation is that Section 64 of the income tax law should be abolished. It is a legacy from the British Raj. We did not continue this. There is no research on this. How much funds have been generated? How much new revenue has been created by clubbing? Actually, we are losing revenue. Those who are interested in discussing this point with me, I'm willing to discuss with them. But this Section 64 should be deleted immediately. I'm mentioning for convenience of the legislature and the researchers, the related sections are Section 10, Clause 32, Section 27, that is also as reference to house property and clubbing. Section 27 also need to be deleted. Section 2, Clause 41, Section 40A, Clause 2. All these sections form immediate reference. So this is a theory that I've developed, theory of microeconomic juristic imperative. Juristic imperative because the fundamental right says that every person has a right to life. Minor is given exemption of 1500 rupees. He remains a minor until he completes 18 years of age. By 18 years, he will be in the MBBS class or engineering or PhD last year or MSc, and that he is considered a minor. Just after completing one day, he becomes a major and a voter. And we give him an exemption of 1500 rupees per year. So inadequate for his maintenance, for his books, for his fees, for his education purposes. A minor ought to be recognized as an individual, and he should get exemption of 2,50,000 rupees as every other individual gets, and other incentives which normally are allowed to other individuals. He should be recognized as an individual in law. At the moment he is not. A minor is treated very badly. of women and children have been very badly treated by tax law. We have already discussed this point. There is an inherent bias in legislation. Bias can be of several kinds. So there is a bias because there is the British people. Their intentions were different. But now, in this independent country, and with the present government having the welfare of the people at their heart, I am sure this law will be amended immediately. Section 64 will be deleted, and Section 27 too will be deleted because it relates to housing. If you purchase a house for Mrs. and it will be treated your own house, and will be taxation implications will be double taxation. Natural love and affection is not considered to be adequate consideration in income tax law. This is a tragedy. Natural love and affection is the most important consideration in the life of the human beings. We should know that we're preparing to face artificial intelligence, the advanced type of computers, the robots, and we are discouraging the people for strengthening the family economy and their intellectual base. We're not allowed to educate finance to the minor, to the youth, to study, to advance his knowledge. How will he handle these computers, advanced computers and artificial intelligence? So this is the theory that I've developed, theory of microeconomic juristic imperative, which I termed as theory of permanent microeconomic fund account, and in our language it is yogakshema sthai Nidhi account. With this amendment, the change in the income tax law, by deleting the clubbing provisions, will unleash the forces, economic forces, and it will create a critical mass, and the people will become enthusiastic. All the futility syndrome will disappear. At the moment, the people are suffering from futility syndrome because you don't allow them to strengthen the microeconomy of the family. Then they will be enthusiastic. They will be declared more income. They will be more enthusiastic in economic development. More revenue will come to the state, and the funds that will be deposited, post-tax surplus, that will be deposited in yogakshema sthai Nidhi account, will be utilized as input in the economy for further production, and that will provide job opportunities to people. If 10 lakh rupees is deposited in microeconomic permanent fund account or yogakshema sthai Nidhi account, we have just calculated 12 lakhs revenue generated and 31 persons are employed. If out of the 3.5 crore income taxpayers today in this country, 1 crore taxpayers take a decision to deposit 10 lakhs each for the minor children, for the missus, or the family members, what will be the revenue? 12 lakhs rupees multiplied by 1 crore, this will be the average. And 31 workers employed for 10 lakhs rupees investment. So 1 crore taxpayers, 10 lakh each. Multiply 1 crore by 31 crore persons will get the job opportunity to work. The nature of jobs are changing. The jobs will be of a specialized nature, so we'll have to develop super skills. From unskilled to skilled to super skills, it has become necessary. And the piece rate and outsourcing will become the order of the day. Because time-based employment is becoming rare, and even if it is time-based employment somewhere, there's a minimum payment as a retainer, and then the rest of it is the target-based payment. So, there are two recommendations. One, delete the coming provision of Section 64 to unleash the financial resources for the development of the country. Treat minor child as an individual and give him exemption like the exemptions to every other individual, and further recommendations we'll be discussing in the next lecture. And super economy and full self-employment is possible. It's a visualized reality, it's a researched reality.